John Ronald Reuel Tolkien was born in 1892, Bloemfontein, South Africa, to Arthur and Mabel Tolkien. After spending 3 years in South Africa, Tolkien returned to England with his family. The following year, his father died, leaving him and his brother to care for Mabel, his mother. Tolkien's childhood was by all accounts a happy one. His mother Mabel would read fairy tales and sagas at his bedside and taught him foreign languages like Latin, French, and German, with little young John displaying great interest in languages and storytelling. Mabel Tolkien unconsciously laid the foundation for her son to become a great writer. Unfortunately, she never lived to see that day. She died from diabetic complications when Tolkien was just 12. After his mother's passing, Tolkien and his brother were raised by the family's Catholic priest, Father Francis Morgan. From an early age, Tolkien was an erudite scholar with a remarkable specialized interest in languages. He enjoyed studying such languages as Greek, Anglo-Saxon, and later at Oxford, Finnish. Despite being an excellent scholar at King Edward VI School, he failed to win a scholarship to Oxford. When his guardian found out that his teenage romance with Edith, his childhood love, was partly the reason for his poor performance, he forbade him from seeing her until he was 21 years old. Tolkien reluctantly agreed to this request and faithfully waited until his 21st birthday. On this date, he renewed his contact with Edith and successfully persuaded her to marry him. From an academic point of view, separating from Edith helped him concentrate, and a year later, he won an exhibition at Exeter College, Oxford, where he would study classics. Tolkien did not particularly excel in his subjects and grew to enjoy the pleasures of university life. Though his measly income made it difficult to keep up with the spending habits of more affluent students, he soon switched to his real love, English literature. Tolkien excelled in literature, spent a lot of his time researching other languages in the Bodleian Library. It was at this point that he became fascinated with Finnish, a language that would form the basis of Quenya, a language he would later give to his elves. Tolkien was a lover of language all his life and dedicated his time to developing languages of his own, a remarkable undertaking. The outbreak of the First World War in 1969 saw Tolkien enlisting in the Lancashire Fusiliers, but not before finishing off his degree. Tolkien was able to make it to the Western Front just before the Great Somme Offensive. Tolkien witnessed firsthand the horrors and the carnage of the Great War. He lost many close friends. Though he rarely talked about his experiences at the war front, it is believed that the horrors of war he witnessed influenced his writings, especially the imagery of the wastelands of Mordor. Right after the war, Tolkien was given a lecturing position at Oxford. He also began working on his epic, The Silmarillion, in 1917. The work lies in the heart of all Tolkien's mythology, and he continually revised it until his death in 1973. The Silmarillion depicts the history of a universe through an almost biblical overview. It progresses from the creation of the universe to the introduction of evil and the rebellion of the Noldor. The Silmarillion was the founding realism which gives Lord of the Rings the impression of a real epic. Tolkien was absorbed in teaching and other duties as a professor, but also found himself to write important papers on medical literature, including seminal work on Sir Gawain and the Green Knights and the Beowulf. He was given the Martin Professorship and given additional duties of teaching and lecturing in 1945. 1930 came with an awakening of his muse to start writing The Hobbit. The inspiration came whilst making an examination paper that he jotted in the margins of a paper the immortal words, "In a hole in the ground lived a hobbit." Unlike the Silmarillion, The Hobbit started as a simple fairy tale, an adventure of children, and progressed to become a fictional masterpiece with a profound appreciation of the Finnish language. In 1937, The Hobbit was published. The book received wide acclaim and immediately became a huge success. Following the success of The Hobbit, Allen and Unwin encouraged J.R.R. Tolkien to write a sequel. Tolkien embarked on writing The Lord of the Rings over a period of many years. The Lord of the Rings was quite different from The Hobbit, both in scope and dimension. It had its roots in the characters and history of the Silmarillion and became an epic of unprecedented depth. In 1967, Oxford University conferred on Tolkien the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters for his researches on linguistic studies. In 1968, Tolkien moved to Poole to gain a little more privacy. In 1971, his wife Edith died and Tolkien died a couple of years later in 1973. After his death, his creations gained even more popularity and sales. Even before the release of the adaptation of the book to movie, the book, Lord of the Rings, was often voted as best-loved books of all times. His son, Christopher Tolkien, carefully went through all of his unpublished works and published posthumously several histories of Middle-earth encompassing various early drafts of the stories and humanities. Thank you very much for watching our videos. We'd like to give you another interesting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss other interesting videos like this. Look at your screen now to see 2 other videos we have handpicked for you to enjoy next. We love you.